Carbon, are you still fired?
You address me as Kingmaker in this room.
Answer the question. Are you still fired or not?
Yeah,
What
I'm
I
fired.
thought. I thought so.
I'm still fired. Is your mother still dead?
Very professional,
yeah,
Carmine. Very
so.
professional.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, we result in assaulting my dead mother now, I see.
Okay. Quangle, thanks for coming down on short notice. First of all, I appreciate that.
No problem, Mayor. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Of course. Let's start simple. Quangle, tell me why you want to be chief of police.
Well, first of all, there's many reasons I want to be chief of police. That's the first thing. The second reason is I wholeheartedly believe I'm the person for the job. You know, these past couple chiefs we've had, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not really the in the how do you say it? They're not in the line of duty, as you know, a lot of us say. They're not really in the streets. They're more of like, let's sit in the office, do the paperwork, let me have the meetings. No. I want to be a chief.
Hold on. You are not gonna slander Turner's name like that, you lying son of a bitch. He was out there in the streets with us and has yoded out CVPI.
Mayor, am I gonna get interrupted during my?
I certainly hope not.
I'm gonna correct, since I have insight in how the LSPD operated back in my time. I'm just telling you guys, grain of salt. This guy's fucking full of shit. Turner was out there. He's full of shit. I'm not gonna have you lie on his name.
Let's give Quangle an opportunity to at least finish his response before we retort here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
Mayor.
Yeah.
Again, the second reason, like I said, which I will explain other reasons, but second reason, recently with the chiefs we had prior, including Miss York, I love Miss York, and Mr. Turner, I adored Mr. Turner, and Miss Moss, I didn't really know her that well, but those were chiefs that were kind of on the back burner. They did more of the behind the scenes stuff, paperwork, meetings, dealt with a lot of stuff like that. No, I think what this police department needs, and trust me, I've talked to a lot of them, I know what it needs. It needs a chief that's out there in the field with them, knowing what's going on. I know what's going on. I know the ins and outs. I know what needs to happen. Now, I could say for another, let me do another point. Another point, right? Say you guys are looking at, who knows? You're looking at Miss York or Connor Oxby to be new chief. I'm going to tell you one thing. They're very nice people. Very, very nice people. But you know what people do? They see kindness as a weakness. And they feed on that and they thrive on that. I, myself, I don't care about people's emotions. Now, yes, I could be harsh at times, but the main thing is to be respectful. I cannot care about your feelings, but I'm still going to be respectful. And I'm going to tell you the truth and how it is, because guess what? There's a lot of killers out there. There's a lot of drug dealers. There's a lot of terrorists. And guess what? They don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
So you gotta put it how it is. You gotta be harsh with these people. You gotta tell them exactly how it is. Yeah, it might upset them. Yeah, they might cry. So what? That's life. As long as you're being respectful, you gotta give it to them how it is. I know what's going on out there. I know what we need. I'm somebody that people look up to and people call in need. Now, Mr. Mayor, do me a favor. Ask me what rank I am.
What rank are you, Quangle?
I'm a regular full officer. Now, do you know why that is?
Tell me.
Now, the difference between me and a lot of these other officers and deputies is, the difference between me and them is they get respect for their rank. No, not me. I get respect for who I am. You think they respect me because I'm TRT squad lead? No. You think they respect me because I'm one of the best pursuit drivers and I'm full pursuited? No. Do you think they respect me because I'm full Air 1 cert? No. They respect me because I know what I'm doing. I know when to take charge. I know how to lead people. I know how to tell them what to do. They look up to me. They need a leader. They need a role model for people.
Let him. Hey.
Sorry.
Carmine.
Something
Listen,
got caught in
Mayor.
my throat.
They need somebody that they can count on in the field of duty. We've missed this for a long time. There's not many people in the field of duty that we can count on, but I am one of them. And I'm willing to step up to the plate where it matters the most because I know what this police department needs. Again, they don't respect me for my rank. They respect me for who I am. That is a big difference. Now, sure, you can make anybody chief of police. But does that mean people are going to respect them? No, it doesn't. You need somebody in that chair, in that position, that people say, that is someone that I can stand behind and I can have me leading and I back 100% and respect them and I will follow them until I can't. And I am that person there, Mayor. I promise you, I know what people need. I know what this department needs. It lacks people that understand what's going on in the field, that are out there every day in the streets. Now, I'm not one of those people that does paperwork and investigations and meetings. No. I'm out there doing the dirty work, the hard work, and we need somebody in charge that knows what's going on. And Mayor, I promise you, you ask anybody about me, the first thing they'll say, I respect him. Not because of his rank, but who he is.
Okay. We got to move this along here, Quangle. We got another participant after, so I want to make sure we have time to get to a few more questions. Junior, did you want to ask something?
Yeah, Quangle. Obviously, I'm here to make sure that I'm in support of Michael and make sure we make the best choice possible. But one thing that also is an interest to me is the working relationship between the LSPD and BCSO. What would you say your relationship is like with the BCSO? Maybe more specifically, a certain someone in the BCSO. Let's say Helen Highwater.
Helen Highwater, obviously, when I was in the BCSO, I respected her. I had to. She was a superior. I respected the rank. Did I disagree with a lot of stuff she did? Yes, of course. But did I go along with it anyways? Yes. Why? Because she was a higher rank and a superior, and that's what you need to do. You need to follow the chain of command. Now, yes, we might have butted heads. I understand. Sometimes in this line of duty, you butt heads. We get it. Not everybody's going to get along. But at the end of the day, I had her back and she had mine. That's all that matters.
That's a good answer.
Actually,
Carmine, you've been pretty vocal. Do you have something you want to ask here?
Wait. I'm confused. You respect? Ain't you the same guy who coined the term "hop out Helen" and Helen the Ain't that you?
Actually, if we want to be corrected, that was the sheriff, Mr. Frost. He said that was Helen the Felon.
That's a lie. That name preceded Sheriff Frost. Back when I was around, I recall you calling her Helen the Felon and Hop. You weren't a fan of hers.
If I'm going to be completely honest, that is incorrect. I had a meeting with the mayor, Mr. Nino, at the time. It was Assistant Chief Peters and Frost at the time when he's interim captain, and he coined the name Helen the Felon. And that was when I was transferring from the BCSO to the LSPD.
Ooh, BCSO.
So, in fairness, Carmine, I remember calling her Helen the Felon like 9 months ago.
Thank you.
Nino's cabinet.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's an old name.
So Carmine, I would appreciate it if you didn't just come up here and just lie. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Why'd you transfer, Quangle?
That's a good
Why did
question.
I transfer? Because I felt like I was treated very unfairly at the BCSO at the time, and I had a lot of support from. Oh, can I finish? I felt at the time I had a lot of support from the assistant chief, Captain Radich, Lieutenant York, and the chief of police, Mr. Turner. They all supported me, including Nino. He told me he wanted me to leave the dark side. And, I got a lot of support because at the time I was getting unjustly dapped and unjustly suspended for stuff that was out of my control. And again, I was being treated very unfairly, and the LSPD opened up their arms to me and let me in with a beautiful greet.
So you run from your consequences. Is that what you're saying, Quangle?
No, ask me how long I was in the
You
BCSO
flee
for.
from being reprimanded.
Ask me how long I was in the BCSO for.
How long, Quangle? Tell
I
me.
was in the BCSO for 9 months. My whole time being a deputy, I was there.
Okay.
Now tell me, does that sound like someone that runs from their problems? No. I try to work my problems out, but it gets to a point where, you got to stand up for yourself. You know what's right from wrong, and I felt that was the best decision for me, and it was. I haven't had zero problems with LSPD. I've not got suspended once or dapped or disciplined at all. I've been actually doing great, and you could ask any of my
Titty milk
superiors,
drinker?
they love me.
Titty milk drinker.
Ooh.
Nothing wrong
Drink
with that,
straight from his
Carmine.
mother's udder. Why would we want a spineless man who drinks his mother's titty milk as our chief? Someone as weak and meek as that. Someone who suckles on their mother's teeth, cries for his mom. Low fortitude. Didn't you cry when your mother died?
I did cry when my mother died.
I
And
feel
wanna
like
know
that's
why?
a healthy response.
Did you
I feel
fight
like
back
that's
for
healthy.
your mother?
And do you, first off, I want to answer your first question there, Carmine. Want to know why I do that? Because I have morals and I have values, something that you don't have. You have no morals or no values, Carmine, and I do. And I stand for what's right and what I think is right, and I stand against what I think is wrong. You can't say the same, Mr. Costello, and I know you can't. So please, don't ever compare yourself to me, or don't ever come at me for my morals or values, because we are not the same. We will never be the same.
Spineless, gelatinous, invertebrate, weak, meek man. I look at you, Quangle, and I see the embodiment of a dork. If I was a criminal in this city and I knew you were the chief of the LSPD, I'd be running laps around this city.
Well, that's the thing, Carmine. You're not. You don't know how these criminals work. Ask any criminal, they fear me. When they see me behind them with my lights and sirens, they know. They better strap in. They better start calling for help. Because I'm nothing to play around with.
Didn't J-Hob run you off your own block like 20 times back when I was... Didn't he have you crying on the radio? Where? J-Hob?
Sir,
where?
I am a
J-Hob, the
police
hobbler,
officer.
the
I do
hobbler's
not have a
here."
block. I uphold the Constitution, and I work for the community. I do
J-Hob
not
was
hold no
upholding
block.
his nuts in your mouth.
Very professional, Mr. Costello. Very professional.
Because in fairness to Quangle, Carmine, you don't really look like someone capable of running laps. I'll just throw that out there.
Just because I don't run laps, I have losers like Quangle do it for me.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I like when people see me and think, oh, he's just a loser. He's nothing. I love it when people underestimate me. It's just, it leads for a bigger surprise at the end.
I have a question. Do you like building up your fellow officers?
Of course I do. When
What
I see...
happened to Gitlin? You built him up? What'd you do to Gitlin? What happened to Gitlin? Tell everybody in here what you and Kay did to poor little Gitlin.
Gitlin was weak. He was easily manipulated. He was easily triggered. That is a big flaw when you're a police officer. You can't act on emotion. And he acted on emotion. And he got fired for acting on emotion. That is not my problem. This line of work is very tough, emotionally and physically. And if you're not cut out for it, then what's the point? You might as well go find a different job.
I'd be emotional too if a fellow deputy of mine put out a fucking hit on my head. Isn't that what led to him getting fired? That there were allegations of you and Kate putting a hit out on his head, causing him to spiral? Who is it, Miguel? Is that who you sent after him? Explain that to us.
So what you're telling me is you're gonna believe a lying criminal instead of me? Go ahead. If you want to believe criminals that lie for a profession out in the streets and finagle their way and rat their way into anything they can, by all means, Mr. Costello, you believe them. I'm not going to. There's a difference. I'm not going to. You believe them. That's fine with me. Believe what you want to hear.
What if I tell you there's a fucking tape of you admitting to it?
Well, I would like to see that tape.
Okay. Justice forgetling. Never forget. Never forgive.
Okay, I've got one more question, Quangle.
Yes, Mayor, yes.
It's a lighthearted one. Let's pretend that. Let's pretend that zombies have overrun the island, right?
Yes.
Metaphor. What's your weapon of choice and why?
My weapon of choice?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of zombies are we speaking? Are we talking about, there's multiple type of zombies.
Not the ones that sprint, like just like walkers, let's say.
My
Slow and
weapon of
dumb.
choice. Old trusty 1911. 45 caliber, one to the head, and they're done.
Interesting choice, but what would you do when you run out of ammo?
That's a good question. That's a really good
What would I do? But I
Yeah.
obviously had to have a knife on standby. Who would have a knife on standby when there's zombies attacking?
Part of being a good leader is maintaining composure under high pressure situations. And I think Carmine did a good job of putting pressure on you. Another thing is having a backup plan. So that's a good answer. I like the idea of, always having your trusty knife.
Mr. Mayor, can I say one thing?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
I want you to ask any other officer in shift 1 or shift 2. Ask them, how is it dealing with Quangle on scenes in the line of duty? And I guarantee you, they will always say, he is the first one to lead scenes. He's a squad lead for a reason. People listen to him for a reason. People follow his orders for a reason. People don't doubt him for a reason. And he's somebody that we need there to be when we need someone to be there for a reason. And I guarantee you, there's not one person in this damn police department that will tell you otherwise.
Bobby still a cop?
Bobby? Bobby Charles?
Yeah, Bobby, I think we should ask Bobby Charles what he thinks of Quangle.
I think Bobby
Bobby's
got
still around?
fired, didn't he?
Yeah, he got
shit.
let go a long
Yeah,
time
shit.
ago.
Well, we'll ask Helen then. We'll ask Helen or Cassidy or maybe Vincent. Ask them what they think.
You know what I heard? Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
I heard Helen was gonna leave the department when Frost got sheriff, but guess what? She's still here. So, what's your point, Mr. Carmine? I've heard a lot of things. And I've heard also one person interested in being chief of police. Let's just say they've been getting their hands dirty cooking some illegal stuff, but I don't want to get into it, I
Name
just,
drop. Name drop.
no, I don't need to. Well,
Don't sneak this.
what's said is done.
Say it.
Hang on.
That is
I'm
all
not
I have to say.
interested in being chief of police. What are you
That's true.
talking about?
Doc isn't applying. Yeah.
Yes, not Doc.
Okay, Quangle, again, I appreciate you coming down on short notice. I can assure you one thing. I don't shoot from the hip. I will do my due diligence, and I will talk to other officers about you and every other person who's applied. So I appreciate you coming down. I think you did great. And regardless of the outcome, I'll follow up with you personally, okay?
Mayor, I appreciate the opportunity. Hopefully, consider me heavily, and I promise you, I will be what you need me to be, and I know what the police department needs somebody to be, and I will be that person.
Thank you, Quangle. I appreciate that.
Be the B of the B to B of being a being.
Hey, Quangle, good to see you.
You're applying for
Whenever
chief
you're
of
ready,
police.
Jimbo.
Mm-hmm.
So undersheriff isn't good enough.
What do you mean?
Your undersheriff isn't good enough. You want something more.
What do you mean?
What I
Oh,
just
listen,
said.
if you're gonna do
Undersheriff
something,
isn't
you
good
gotta
enough.
be
You
able
want
to
something more.
handle something like
No, you
that.
should always
I
think that
that's fair.
you're able to do better.
So you think you could? undersheriff just isn't good enough. You just want everything. That's
no,
what you
I
want.
made that clear.
Sorry, I'm starting to run out of air.
You're shameless.
Sorry, I'm starting to run out of air.